Hey everyone, this is Anna here, and in this video will be a vlog again, which I don't make very often, but I wanted to come in here and share with you how I make new work. How does that evolve, and talk about my process. It is something that takes time. I wanted to share with you because I test, my new glazes. I need to test. In my case here, I am making, putting birds on as handles, using birds as handles. And I'll jump right in to explain how it evolved from an idea to a product. So if you had seen my kiln openings, you might have seen this piece here. That's, I believe, sometime in the summer or early spring, I start making birds that acts as handles. And this is one of the pieces that didn't quite work out on the bottom here because the glaze ran and it plucked, as you can see here. And so I was able to sand it real smooth with my diamond core sanding pad, and then using other Dremel to get the glaze to make it real smooth. I didn't want to cut my hand or anything, but I decided I was gonna keep this piece that I love, how it feels holding on the bird. This is all hollow, by the way. This piece here is hollow, and it actually feels really good on the hand. And you guys might have seen also how I put birds on each side of like a platter or a bowl to act as handles. And I love that feel as well. In fact, I have some here that I'll show you in a little bit. But the idea came about with, if I was doing birds as handles and I really liked it on trays and stuff and bowls, I was like, well, why couldn't I do something like this and put it on a mug to hold it as a handle? Because I was already making like this. So all I needed to do is I start looking at it vertically like that, and I said, that could actually be a handle for a mug, and it also felt really good. So I started making mugs with birds. I would throw the birds, and by the way, I will have a video on how I do the whole thing, how I make the birds and how I attach, because I do have different designs that I went through. And some of them, many of my work are still in bisque stage. I need to just glaze all of them. I have a lot that I made just to try different iterations of the same concept with the bird. But I had one that you guys saw on my last kiln unload, which was this piece here. So this one, I called it a bird on a nest. But the nest was all carved. This piece here, it was supposed to be just a bird sitting on a nest, as you can see like that. But the glaze I used here was a matte glaze that was a little bit covered by the other glossy glaze, and you can't quite see the texture. So next time I make another one, would be the nest would be a little wider and more texture, so you really can see it. And so here I used mainly the new Spectrum floating glazes. I believe it was Sunrise, Floating Turquoise, and Louisiana Bayou. And you got really soft colors here for the bird. And then here is the Amaco on the tail, was Amaco Speckled Olive, which is a new glaze to me, and I'm loving that. So also I wanted to try out new glazes. I've been using glossy glazes for as long as I can remember. I was always attracted to glossy glazes and not so much the matte glazes until I tried the Opulence matte glazes, which is more of a satin finish, not completely matte, because the matte glazes that I've tried in the past, it felt a little rough to touch, and I didn't like that. But these are so silky and nice that I'm gonna end up buying a lot of the other colors they have from Opulence. So this one is called Marshmallow, and the inside is my Celso Chun turquoise that I use as liner glaze. So I'm also, besides using new glazes, new satin glazes, which I love, I'm also experimenting with a new clay that, by the way, this is a tip for you, that if you love hand building, this is the clay for you. It's called Iceman by Kentucky Mud Works. This clay, it also throws well, but as with any time you're trying a new clay for throwing, it always takes me a little bit to get used to. It does absorb water real fast and becomes real soft real fast, so you have to get used to that. When I was using it for throwing, like this cup, the mug, but it's wonderful for hand building. Like for this, everything is easier for hand building. It attaches everything so well. It doesn't crack easily. I haven't had anything crack, but the attachments, it attaches things like I've never seen any other clay do that. It's almost like it glues together things, and you don't have to worry. I mean, with any clay, you have to dry a little bit slowly, and but it's, yeah, I have had no issues. And a friend of mine is the one that recommended this clay for me to try. I don't do much hand building, so, but I know a lot of people who are mainly hand builders, so this is the clay for you to try. It's a white stoneware, not as white, so this is a downside that I see, is that it's not as white as the other one that I use from Kentucky Mud Works that I also love, which is called White Bear. Now, White Bear is very white for being a white stoneware, almost like a porcelain color. But it does have some issues with attachments. I find that I have to use vinegar and really dry slowly, otherwise you get cracks. I don't even get cracks as often with porcelain, which a lot of people have issues, as I had with White Bear. But it is a very white clay, very nice to throw, so I'll be continue to use that one. But try this clay if you're a hand builder. I think this would be the clay for you. But look at the difference. It's more like a creamy white. This one, I think, is the White Bear. You can tell the difference. And I'll go over this in a little bit. I'll explain what that is. Anyways, before I started my iterations with different birds style to see how it would feel, I tested a bunch. But one thing I was gonna tell you is I make a little sketch, and you don't have to be a good drawer to just put an idea on paper, you know, because it's just for you. It's not like you be showing, you know, other people, or it's just a way of you organizing your ideas, your thoughts into paper. That way you don't forget. So I usually put something new, or even like if I'm making a whole collection, I will list the things that I want to make, you know, and I make little sketches. So these are just two of the styles that I was thinking about. One was this one here was called the Bird on the Nest, which is this one. That's the one that is finished. The other ones were having the bird perched on a branch, and the branch attached to the mug. And then also I wanted the bird to be attached to the mug or the branch, so it's really well attached. So that was my other concept that I had. And I make other silly designs like this. I don't even want to get too close because these are just like I said, if you're doing something fast, just make quick sketches. I list things that I wanted to make, and I go about my way, but it helps to keep me organize my thoughts. And so I started making a lot, and this is just a sample that I'm gonna show you. I have a lot more that needs to be glazed. So this is the one that I wanted to show you, that if I'm drinking like this, I'm holding this as a handle, and the bird is facing me. It's really cute, and I like how it feels. And as you can see, I am gonna show you how I did this. This is the branch attached to the mug. The bird is perched, so he's completely attached to the branch, and his wing is also attached. So it's even better than an actual handle. It's well attached, so it's not gonna come off, you know. And this one, I do like how this one is also, and I can't wait to glaze it. So you guys will see soon my how I glazed all this whole body of work that I created. But I don't think I will release my collection until next year, probably beginning of February, because I am gonna add, you know, even more to this. So it will be birds and frogs, my next collection. Another one that is not a parrot, that one was a little parrot. This one would be just a colorful bird done the same way. As you can see on my sketch, I added some leaves, which will probably come later at my later work. These, because they were just tests, I didn't put it, you know, like carved or anything like that. It was mainly the bird on the branch, and that was it. So this whole collection here, I might sell it a little bit less as an introductory price for my mugs, because these are all new work. And some of them I feel better than others on the hand. This one feels really good. The bird, as you can see, let me put it a little closer for you to see how it's attached. It's attached to the wing is attached to the branch. And the bird was carved a little bit. But one thing I should have done with this one is I should have brought it a little lower. It's kind of high in here, but completely functional. And also, when I drink, I always hold it here too, so it feels really good to hold a mug like that. The other concept was this one, that it was just a bird on like a little handle, because I didn't want it to stick out too far. But thinking back now, I could have pushed out a little more. It does feel good, even though this one is much smaller than the other ones, but the mug is also smaller. So there is that thing with scale. You know, I always think of the scale. If a mug is bigger, like this one is a bigger mug, you can see the size, I use the bigger bird. This one is a smaller mug, I use the smaller bird, but this one is right in the center, and it feels good. I think this one will be also a good one. Just a little different than what I sketched. So I went off and did all different designs, all with birds. Another one that is a handle, but I decided to put the bird and use it almost like a thumb rest, the bird. So the bird is attached to the handle and also to the tip, to the rim right here. And it feels wonderful. I think this will be a popular one because it feels really good too. And I can't wait to glaze all these. Then I made some bowls that, like I was telling you, I've sold all the ones that I've made like this. Those were popular. It feels really good to hold something that you can, it's not gonna slip from your hands. So these are mainly the handles on each side. And this could be a salad bowl or any type of server, you know, so that would be a very colorful one. But this thing here that I said that I was gonna talk about, so this is a mold I created. So I threw on the wheel a ring, just a ring without the bottom. And it was about, it depends on the size of the leaf. So these are leaf molds for little dishes that you can make. mine wasn't that big, maybe 5 or 6 inches in diameter. And then you wait until this pops off from the bat, or you can use a wire to get this out, and then you alter to make the tip of the leaf, and this becomes oval like that. So what you do is you bisque fire so it's still porous, and that's your mold. So you put it on a porous surface like a wooden bat or anything that is wood or plaster, and you use that to put your leaf in it and you press, rather than using the other method, which is you push your leaf into like a foam. This one, you just press it into here, and your bottom is completely flat because it touches the whatever surface it is that this is on. So I made this little leaf. This one I painted the little frog, but I just haven't glazed it. The leaf would have like different green glazes, probably celadons. But this is a cute one. That would be just a little ring dish, jewelry dish, I guess. This one was inspired by Jazz, Ceramic by Jazz. She made some, and I just made it a little bit differently with my mold, and then I added a cardinal. This would be a holly leaf, and you just cut it, the leaf shape, as a slab, and then you put it on your mold and you press it with your fingers, and becomes the shape of your mold. So you can make actually different shapes of leaves and create your own mold. It works out really well. So this one is a little bird bath, mini bird bath I call it. I used to make a lot of these in the past, and I decided to make it a little bit different because it has birds also. This was done with a texture roller that I got from Etsy, and then you cut the round shape using, I have a set of cookie cutters, and I cut that and put it on my bat on top of a silicone mat, and I turned the edges. That's all this is. And then I put a pedestal like that, done on the wheel, and then I attach it here and put the little birds, so it's a mini bird bath, and it's a jewelry holder. So this is I kept one of my snowflakes as earrings, and I wanted to show you how it works. You just put your earrings like that, because the edge is turned up. It's a perfect place to hang your earrings all around. So like I said, rather than having the rim, I used to make these on the wheel and then turn the rim, the edge out and flare, and then do holes all around, and that takes time, and then you have to clean all the holes before, when you glaze. It's a lot of work, and making it like this, much easier. It's a little bit different, but you can do it. You can still hang your earrings in here. So that was the last piece that I have, and I made a bunch of these. You can make it very fast, something like that. So let me know if you'd like to have a tutorial how I make these. They're very simple to make, very easy. And then that's about it. I wanted to just share how I do how my new work evolves and my process. And let me know in the comments if you would like to for me to show you more tutorials other than the ones that I've mentioned here, which I am gonna show how I make these. That would be in a different video. And I hope you guys enjoy this holiday season, and I don't know if I'll have another video before the holidays, but I do have many other projects going, so I will be sharing them with you. So thanks for watching, and take care. Bye bye.